All right, let's talk about the inspection and what you can expect. So typically an inspection by the buyer or somebody that they hire is typically going to be about 3 hours. Now it can range from 2 to 4 depending on the size of your home. Often people will do not only a general inspection, but a radon inspection. They're going to set up a little device in your home that runs typically for 48 hours. They're going to set up some rules for you to follow. They're easy rules, but they're going to leave this device in your home to test for up to 48 hours. Then there's a sewer scope, and a lot of people would not buy a home without a sewer scope. They'd be crazy not to get that done, to be honest. They're going to run a camera down your sewer lines to make sure that everything looks good so that they don't have major issues coming up. Now, as you are getting ready to have the inspection, to host the inspector, if you will, we're going to probably ask you to leave, but there are things that you can do to get your home ready to make for the most successful inspection possible. So first of all, keep in mind that your home is what it is. We don't necessarily always ask you to get a bunch of repairs done prior to an inspection, but it's something to consider. If you know something that's already an issue, maybe get it addressed. We'll talk about that depending on all kinds of circumstances. So we're going to ask you to remove obstacles that might block the inspector's access to the following things. Things like electrical panels. If there's a padlock on that, we want you to take the padlock off. Heating and cooling equipment, water heaters, underbuilding crawl space access. Sometimes the access is hidden in a closet with things on top of it. Sumps and sump pumps. Is there access to that? Attic space, and that includes removing clothing and other personal property which might impede access through a small door or closet, something like that. The next one is under sink areas, right? So the inspector's probably going to want to look at the pipes, see if there's leaks, that kind of thing. You want to have that access opened up as well. Things like ground fault circuit interrupters, GFCIs, and other electrical outlets, we want to make sure that the inspector has access to those, so keep things out of the way. Kitchen sinks, dishwashers, ranges and ovens, interior areas that include garages and basements, and then anything that's locked, right? So like we want to make sure that doors are unlocked, that they can get into every room of the house. If there are personal things that you keep locked up, let's take those things out of there, but let's not let the inspector wonder what's back there, or let the buyer wonder what's behind door number 2, so to speak. We want to make sure that they have access. Sheds are a lot of times locked. You want to have those padlocks removed for that. And then fireplaces. This is kind of a big one. It happens a lot. A lot of people don't run their fireplaces all year, understandably. When was the last time you turned yours on? Make sure that the pilot light is lit in particular. The inspector cannot fire up the pilot light because of gas. So you want to have that on and ready to go so that they can hit a switch if that's the type of fireplace you have. All right, pets. So everybody loves good old Fido, but we want to make sure that the pets are not in the way for an inspection. Please have your pets removed. Your appliances are going to be checked, so make sure that they're running. Dishwashers are commonly ran during the inspection process. Refrigerators, if your refrigerator is not included in the offer, then they're probably not going to inspect it. But anything that's being transferred with the property, you want to make sure that is the access is left to that as well. Now, your systems such as water, gas, and electrical, the inspector is going to need access to all of those things. And then here's a small one, but lighting. We don't want to have the inspector flip the switch, nothing lights up, and then now they're writing something that says this outlet doesn't work. Maybe it's the switch, maybe it's the electrical, maybe it's the wiring, maybe it's the fixture, but now they have a big question mark. So make sure you get your lighting all taken care of. Make sure that your bulbs are in place. That way we can answer that question right away. Does it work? Yes, it works. We just need a new bulb, and you've already resolved that issue. All right, probably the last thing is just having your repair receipts. So if you've recently repaired anything, you want to make sure that those receipts are out and left for the buyer to be able to peruse, maybe even the inspector, especially if structural issues have been resolved in the past. Have those available so that people can look through them. And then finally, when it comes to the inspection report, you as the seller are not really entitled to see that. You didn't pay for it, so don't expect to see the inspection report. Now, sometimes a buyer will share that, or their agent will choose to share that with us as we're evaluating the issues that come up during the inspection. But just wanted to let you know that that is not something that is typically shared with you as the seller.